Since 100 years, there is a new natural ally in pest management systems, entomopathogenic nematodes. These microscopic roundworms infect their prey, killing them without having to use chemicals. Friend to many growers who ever faced pests, these little worms have changed the way we practice pest management. But what does the future hold for them?
You really can study many aspects in biology and ecology and microbiology using those nematodes as models. The first idea is to use them to kill, which is okay from a grower or a farmer perspective. But then you realize that the fact that this nematode need a bacteria to kill the insect is a symbiosis. So then you can study many things related to the basic symbiosis. From the beginning, I have the feeling that I can build like a whole career just working in different areas using this nematode as model system. I'm Raquel Campos Herrera, coming from the Institute of the Grain, Vine and Wine Science in Logroño in Spain, working at the Spanish National Council, SIC. And I have over 22 years experience working with entomopathogenic nematodes. First, we need to say that there is many nematodes all around the world. There was a famous quote by one of the first big nematologists, Cobb from the United States, that say that if we remove everything from the earth except nematode, we could still see the face and the shape of the earth just only because of the nematode, because they are everywhere. So we need to first think on that we have nematodes that are good, like the entomopathogenic nematode, but from a perspective, especially from a grower, there is also bad nematode, the plant parasitic nematode, and there is also some kind of knowledge about free-living nematode that are also, the study is very important because are used as bioindicator of the soil health. Putting that in context, the beneficial soil organisms like the nematode, these are very important because they are giving different traits. You can use fungi for central stuff, you can use bacteria, but also the nematode is another contribution for the tool of biological control. So I think it's really important to promote and to learn about these organisms, to use this in our benefit.
But the nematode has not always been promoted as beneficial to us. When it was discovered in the 1920s, it was more a curiosity than a tool. It was about finding different species. In the 1950s, scientists started showing interest in exploring potential and in nematode production. Since the 1980s, there has been an explosion in research about using entomopathogenic nematodes as models for biodiversity, interaction with other organisms, population dynamics, and many more subjects.
Once we have this baseline where we can use many tools, we have put some entomopathogenic nematode in the space and see if they can kill and they come back. I mean, all this kind of fascinating thing we can do because entomopathogenic nematodes are good models. Well, nematology is like the poor discipline in the biology, I would say, because entomology, everybody wants to be entomology. They want to see legs and hairs, and they have all these fascinating different arthropods, and that is very good. And then we have the plant disease, all fungi, they are doing different structures, wonderful, but nematode is not so excited for that, right? So, but it's as important as the other two, because if you are thinking from a perspective from a grower, the entomopathogenic nematode, they can be your friends. So you just need to make work for you. I think more and more people is learning about those, especially the entomopathogenic nematode, and they can understand that they can use this as a model. What we have to study, ecology, basic. We need to know when we are adding the nematode, what is there? So the abiotic factor, we know quite a lot, but we need to integrate more data, especially in the scenario of the global warming and the climate change, etc. And also the interaction with the biotic phase that most of the time is like very complex, but we need to face finally the fact that we have other organisms there and they are interacting with the nematode. So this is basic, but also we can't forget about the bacteria. The bacteria is the other partner, and then many other areas that you can imagine, exploring more crops, exploring more pests. Insect that before there was not really a problem. I'm thinking in Philainos spumarius, this insect that is a kind of nice guy, right? But it was transmitting Celleria fastidiosa. Suddenly in Europe was a kind of big thing. So now we need to kill Philainos spumarius. There is emergent pests, there is new pests that we need to be like open our eyes and try to focus on that.
Beneficial nematodes are experiencing a boom. Many growers are already using them to control a wide variety of pests, in the soil as well as above ground. However, it doesn't end there. The world is changing, and the use of entomopathogenic nematodes is changing as well.
Well, I think they have made like a good impact, but I think so far they had not made all the impact that they can do. I think we are now in a very interesting time where we have all the, at least from Europe, all this movement that we don't want too much chemical. And here I think the nematode is going to be one of the pieces that are going to bloom. So far it's important, but it's going to be critical like in 10 years. But for doing that, we need to provide more fundamental knowledge. We need to learn a lot on the ecology of this nematode because the same species is not behaving the same here or in Portugal or in South Africa or wherever. And it's not the same system with a perennial or an annual crop. And it's not the same integrated pest management, organic pest management, till. So all kind of agricultural management is impacting how these nematodes first are there or not, and second, how they behave if they can control. So in 100 years, I hope it's as good as now, at least, but maybe it's even more important because in the context of changes in condition like increasing temperature and humidity, I think nematodes are going to be key drivers in the global farmers and economy in general. So I hope at least the same or even more important than now.